I don't have a pause button, so this is part 3 of Reverse Racism is a Thing. So, when I left off, like I said, you will always be connected to your family by blood. You don't have to stay connected to the motherfuckers, especially racist family on the planet. That isn't back on the track of reverse, because that other video that got interrupted, the only thing I really wanted to point out was that racism is taught. You're not born with it. It's something that you learn from home. It starts at home because, final fact, when you go to school, when you start school at kindergarten, you are going, unless you go to an all-white school, an all-black school, an all-Asian school, or native reservation school, which is unacceptable, uh, unless you go to an all-ethnic school in which you belong to, you as a child are going to meet other children of different backgrounds, whether it be of color or cultural. You are going to meet other children of different backgrounds. And as that child, you don't see color. You don't really see gender until someone teaches you. Because when I was in kindergarten, boys and girls played tag all the time. By the time we got to the first grade is when it started going, because other friends were taught, don't play with girls because you'll be a sissy. Or you can't play with girls because you'll be gay. And then the girls will go off and do their little games, and the boys will go over here and do their little games. And I'm thinking, just last year, we were all the same people running around playing tag. Alright? Think about that shit. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who remembers in kindergarten, we played tag, we played duck, duck, goose, and your gender wasn't a fucking thing. We knew the difference between boys and girls and who went to the bathroom and who didn't. But your color and your gender, that didn't mean shit to us. We were fucking 5 years old. We're running around. Tag, you're it. And if you were a bad sport or a crybaby because you didn't want to be it or because you couldn't outrun and keep up with people, those were the things we cried about. Not, oh, you're so girly, you can't play with us. Oh, you're so macho, you can't play with us. No, we ain't do none of that shit when we were kids. Then by the time we got to the first grade, because some asshole get in your ear, and all of a sudden now it's the difference between boys and girls, and y'all can't play together anymore. Because if you play with girls, you're gay. Or if you play with boys, you're a tomboy. And all that shit just fucks everybody up emotionally. And that's how shit gets started. By the time you get to the 4th or 5th grade, now you know about fucking racism. Because somebody who's a girl calls you the N-word to your face. And without consciously thinking, your left hand hauls off and hits her in the mouth. Busts her lip. Now you have no longer any friends that are white because you hit the white girl in the mouth. Even though the white girl called you the N-word, and you just didn't tell anybody because you didn't think that they would believe you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I have witnesses. Of course, for the most of it, they all sided with her until the principal had explained to them that racism is a fucking thing. Thank you, Mr. Garrett, wherever you are. Thank you, Miss Conrad, wherever you are. Because without those two people, I would not be the human that I am today about knowing about race and stuff like that. But when I was in school, up until the race war, there was no racism. You know, like I said, kindergarten and the first grade, that's when shit was fine. But first grade, it started to change. Second grade, it got worse. Third grade, it got worse. Fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade, race war. You know, this is when you start learning about racism. I didn't know I was part Native till I got to the 5th grade thanks to Miss Conrad. I just thought I was black. Found out that I wasn't. It hurt me because I found out that I wasn't black all the way. But once I embraced it and found out, hey, there's a lot of cool shit to being Native, as well as being black, as well as being white. But see, we never did color at our house because everybody's fucking different colors in our house, literally, and we're all biologically related. My mom has 7 kids. Each of us have different skin tones. My youngest brother is light enough to be white. The sister that was born under me is light enough to be white. If I had their skin tone, boy, I would use that power. God knows I would use that power. I'd be Trick Whitey Man. And everybody white would never know I was black until it was necessary. But my facial structure does not say black. So that would be a bit of a problem. But it also doesn't say white. So high cheekbones. So yeah, that would not work out. But I could be light native passing. Anyway, all jokes aside, reverse racism is a thing. And just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean other people have not. To these people on this TikTok that muted me and decided that we don't need to hear this crap from the guy who's half black, half white, half native. We don't need to hear his, because we don't believe that reverse racism is a thing. Yeah, it is. It is. Because one, before knowing that I was not black all the way, I had to learn that shit. And it was taught to me by black girls who straight looked me in the face and said that I would never be black enough for black girls. I would never date black girls. And I did the opposite. I did everything I could to date black girls until I got into middle school and 14, and black girls got me hurt. Not just emotionally, but one almost got me killed. And then I just don't date black girls anymore, because this young black lady's live, she specifically said that black women are the most not dated demographic. And I wanted to actually debate her on that, but I got muted, so I couldn't. And the debate's not going on anymore. But if I get the chance again, I will actually do that. And if I should do a live about that, y'all let me know. Because if you have my TikTok, then I'll gladly do a live about why a lot of black men don't date black women. And and it's mostly about the treatment that black men receive from black women. It really is. It's not so much that we don't date you because of your attitude, or you just uppity and decide, hey, I'm going to be a bitch to you because I can be. Yeah, no, it's not that. But your treatment, son of a bitch, I done something wrong. And I don't know what I've done. And I think I'm still recording. I hope I'm still recording. I don't know how to make those things stop popping up in the corner. So when you see me looking funny and there they are again. When you see me doing this look, it's because I'm trying to get them off my screen. And then that just happened. So anyway, as I said before I got zipped away, a lot of reverse racism is generally due to black men from black women, and then those same black women get mad at those black men who will go jump on the bandwagon of, I'm going to date out my race. I'm going to date Asian women. I'm going to date Mexican women. I'm going to date indigenous women. I'm going to date white women. I'm going to date anybody but black women. Why is that a thing? Because reverse racism is a thing. That's also a form of reverse racism, which in title would make people look at me and say that I'm being racist. But am I though? Ask yourself this. As a man of color, me, being a black man, and I can't get a black woman to notice me, let alone date me, am I wrong for dating out of my race because I can't get a black woman? No. And the black women that I can get have already given their bodies to other men and have babies by them. And I don't want to raise another person's baby. I don't. I've done it all my damn life. My siblings' kids. I've done that shit. I'm done. I'm not doing that shit. And I'm not saying that it's not possible to date a white woman who has children. Been there, done that. I'm not doing that shit anymore. Now, I haven't dated an Asian girl with children, but, it's not impossible to not stumble into a woman who has children with other people. It's not impossible. It's highly impossible for me to find one who doesn't, but then again, that's not impossible either. You just gotta test the waters, and you need to not be afraid to ask. Look, if we're gonna date, I need to know everything about you. I need to know if is there gonna be drama. Do you have a baby daddy? Are you married? Those should be the first questions that you ask somebody out on a date with. It's like, I don't want to be too forward. I want to get to know you. I want to go on more than one date. But I gotta know what is it a you and me, or is it you, me, and a package that you come with? And I don't want to sound like an asshole about it, because I've been through this shit before, but I don't want to have to deal with baby daddy drama, especially if you have more than one baby. All right, like if I'm with you and you are a woman, regardless of your color or your ethnicity or whatever the fuck, and you have one child, and let's say that child is like maybe two, maybe 3, maybe 5. All right, child knows who his daddy is. All right, daddy's a good person, open-minded, and doesn't mind me dating you and being in your child's life. And I'm going to respect that child and treat that child as if it's my child, because if I wind up marrying you, that becomes my child too. Alright? Package deal. To get the wife, I get the child. I got it. I'm okay with that. But if you got like 4 or 5 children, you don't have Grey Wolf. No. You're not. I'm not going with that. I'm sorry. I'm not going with that. Because my siblings all have children. I have lost my 20s, my 30s, and the bulk of my 40s taking care of other people's kids that my siblings have had. I have dropped everything and left my job to go pick up kids that's not mine because their dads who are not in jail won't fucking do it. I'll be damned if I'm going to do this shit again, ever. Ever. Fuck that shit. If I want a child, unless I can't produce enough sperm to create a child, I'm not raising another person's child. I'm done with that shit. And I'm sorry if I've offended anybody. I truly am. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. But my mom had 7 of us. I'm the second of number 7. So yeah, I'm the shit. I'm number 2. My mom expected me and my elder sister to take care of her children. And instead of stopping, taking a knee, instead of taking dick, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that. I would have been able to pursue my dreams and my happiness, but I had to put my life on the back burner because my siblings kept popping out. As years went by, my siblings, because the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, have done the exact same fucking thing. The exact same fucking thing. And have robbed me of my life. So there's no fucking way in hell that I'm going to let that shit happen again. Now I know that was completely off topic and completely off track, and I'm sorry, but I had to get that off my chest. Back to the point though. A couple of black girls that I was interested in had babies. More than one. Different daddies. And I'm not saying that's not possible for other women that I have dated to have more than one baby daddy. Because I've done that too. But I'm done doing that. I want a woman who's single, with no children, no packages, no attachments, and I want her to only be with me. So that we can have a child together if that's so what she chooses. Which would be topic of discussion number 3. Like I said, the first 3 things you need to ask a woman is, do you have any children? And I said, and don't lie to me, because I'm straight up about truth. I do not want to ever be lied to, especially when it's something that's very fucking important. Okay, we're going to get off that. If you guys want a video on that, let me know. But here's the thing. This young lady talked about the black female demographic of not being dated by black men. And I said to myself, there's a reason for that. If you are going to treat black men like shit, black men are not going to date you. I said, because technically, legally, I'm still black, even though I'm part native and also part white. My birth certificate has Negro written on it, which means I'm part black. I can't change that. Legally, that's where it is. It's been that way for 48 years. There's no point in changing it now. I'm on my reconnecting journey, but by all legal rights, until a tribe accepts me, I can't put anything anywhere other than I'm black. And when I fill out applications and they give me that look, are you sure you're black? I was like, ma'am, sir, it's my birth certificate. It says black. I have to put black because the government has me written down as black. Am I all the way black? No. You can see that. But there ain't a damn thing I can do about it. Not legally. Not illegally. Might as well accept it. But see, reverse racism. You're a victim of it. Yes, we all have our preferences of who we want to date. But if you're a black woman and you only want to date black men and black men don't want to date you, hey, that says reverse racism. Because y'all muted me and said that reverse racism is not a thing. But you're wrong. Reverse racism is a thing. If black men won't date you and you're black and they're black and you're saying that it's not about preference, it's racism, there it is. Reverse racism. You just shot yourself in the fucking foot. You cut your own fucking throat because reverse racism is a thing. But your mods, they muted my ass. They muted me, and it's cool. I'm not mad about being muted. I'm just mad about you guys not opening your eyes to all the realms of the possibilities of racism and how black people can be racist to other races of people. how black people can be racist to themselves. And that shit's a fact. And she actually literally, when she said that black men won't date her, and she's black, she's not like dark black. She's brown. She's darker than me, but she's still brown. She's in that section of the color wheel where you're not light, you're not dark, you're not darker than dark, and dark and dark and dark. No, she's like right, perfect brown, perfect. For black America standards, she's the perfect brown. Where I'm way lighter than she is, not just because of lighting, but I'm way lighter than she is. And I don't have any of the black features that she has. All right, and she has nice boobs. But the fact of the matter is that she claims that dating out of the race is racism, and the black demographic of black men dating her is little to non-existence. And then I wanted to say, hey, well, maybe it's not just preference. Maybe it's just you. Because I wanted to date black girls all my life, and all my life I was told I was not good enough. Maybe that's why black men won't date you, because you've probably been telling them the same shit black women had told me. But then these same black women that tell black men, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. They want to date these thugs and drug dealers that beat their ass and call them out their name, instead of dating black guys who have respect for them and try to treat them right, and they don't want to date them. They want to date the Billy Badasses. So, I mean, first racism. If you're not dating a black guy because he won't cuss you out and call you a bitch or a whore, that's your fault. It's also your stupidity to want to date somebody who's going to call you a bitch or a whore. I'm sorry. If I've offended any ladies with that, I'm sorry. But that's the majority versus the minority of black women will date a man who will call her a bitch or a whore before he calls her, hey baby, hey honey, let's get married. No, you want to date that motherfucker that has that dangerous lifestyle. And then you got to pay dangerous prices, because the enemy of your boyfriend is your enemy too. So don't get stupid. And then that's also, god damn it, I hit that wrong button again. That's also the reason why they expect other young men to take care of the baby daddy's babies while the babies is locked up, and they like to call those men beta males. And I'm going to do a video about that after this, about alphas and betas and all that bullshit. So, yeah, I did hit the thing again. So, I'm going to end this with this. Reverse racism. No matter who you are, no matter how you slice it, it does exist. All right? Prime example. China and Japan. They're all Asian, but they don't always get along. Same thing with Korea, North and South. They're both Koreans, but North Koreans and South Koreans don't like each other. But that's not reverse racism, right? It doesn't exist. Let's go. All right, so you have Chinese and Tibet. You have Laos, you have Vietnam, North and South, Korea, North and South. You have Malaysia, Indonesia, and you have Japan. Then you have the island of Guam. You have the Philippines, and you have the Polynesian Islands and Fiji, which, for the most part, they're all Asian and Micronesian and all that other shit. But all of them have issues with each other. A lot of Asians down the Philippines and the Polynesians, because they're not as Asian as they are darker skinned Asians. They live on a fucking island. The fuck? They're not gonna be pale. They don't live in central China or Japan where the sun hits it, but it doesn't beam directly on the shit. On the people. That's why Polynesians and Micronesians and people from Fiji are tan in color. They're smack dead where the fucking equator hits the sun the best. So they're going to be tan. Their melanin is going to be thick. Same thing with the Aborigines of Australia. But, I mean, hey, it's going to be what it's going to be. But if you're Japanese and Chinese people don't like you because you're Japanese, that's a form of fucking reverse racism, because both of them are fucking of Asian ethnicity. If you're from North Vietnam and you don't like South Vietnam, and vice versa, which they're also Asian, Both of those are Asian countries, but they went to war with each other. But reverse racism does not exist. You are wrong. And finally, for the dumb young girl with the glasses that muted me, her name is Kate or Katie or whatever your name is. I apologize for calling you dumb, but I don't. I'm sorry, not sorry. The issue is really quite simple. You muted me because y'all didn't want to hear what I had to say, which is okay. You have that right. But the point of the matter is, first and foremost, and I'm going to end this video the way I meant to begin it. All races of people can be and have the capability of being racist to all other races of people. Minority versus the majority. And usually it's a minority of people who are more racist than not racist. But sometimes it's a majority of people, close damn it, who are more racist than not racist. I'm sorry about that. That being said, I am Echo Fan Grey Wolf. This was part 3. I hope I didn't piss too many people off. And if I did, that's a you problem. Be seeing you.